Hey, good morning, everyone, or evening, or afternoon. I have a couple of things that I would like to share with you today. One is from Linda Madden-Dahl. She is a Seth scholar, and she has a really wonderful take on how to deal with beliefs, how to find them, and how to get rid of them. Because as we know, everything is based on your own bubble of reality, is based on what you believe to be true about the world, about your life, about other people, about things. Everything is based on beliefs. And another thing that I want to discuss with you is what I will start with is the book Break the Habit of Being Yourself. So last week I read a piece from that book. I'll put the video in the description if you haven't seen it. And on my blog, I wrote 2 blog posts the last 2 weeks also based on this book. I started reading this book again because I was super frustrated about something that I feel keeps showing itself up. And I have a channel and a blog, and I coach people because I myself also am working through things, and everything that I've successfully worked through, I can help others with. Everyone has to find their own way. That is the most important thing, actually, and I can help share what worked for me, and it might work for you, or you might have to tune it a little here and there. But that is actually the base of the reason why I do what I do. Also because I just adore personal development. I think the better we become, the better I become as a person, the happier and the more fulfilled, and the better it is for planet Earth. Because if I'm a happy camper, I will treat everything and everyone around me accordingly. So, where was I going? Oh yeah. So this frustration. Now, the interesting thing is what I learned in this book, or relearned, remembered, however you want to see it, because of course all the knowledge is already inside of us, is that the frustration is an emotion that my body is used to feeling. So what happens, according to this book, is that our body is becoming, at one point it becomes the mind. So to take the example of frustration, I have been thinking thoughts in the past that constantly led to the emotion of frustration, because every time you think a thought, you have a corresponding emotion. And at one point, if you have the thoughts often, this emotion becomes a part of you, in this case of me. So my body has remembered the emotion of frustration so often that at one point it became a part of me. So here's what the interesting thing that happens next. As soon as I don't feel frustration, the body sends a signal back to the mind saying, hey, I need to feel this emotion of frustration because it's a part of me. It's an addiction, actually. So the body starts giving the mind thoughts of things to become frustrated about. So it's a two-way street. And this is so amazingly interesting, and something that I didn't realize before, that the body is actually also signaling the mind to give it its shot of frustration. I thought everything only came from thoughts, but it's not true. The emotion itself can also say, hey, I'm getting depleted here, I need my shot. So The moral of this story is, if you want, and if you feel like, hey, this sounds like I can get something from it, read this book and go through the processes it mentions. As I told you in the video, how to quantum jump, or how to, I don't know how I called it, but it was about quantum jump and quantum leaping. You can make up different words for it. To a different version of reality that you want to experience, and how to get there is by getting uncomfortable. Now, when I notice now that I give myself a thought that gives my body a frustrating feeling, I know that it is not true. I know that this is an addiction of my body wanting to get its shot of frustration to feel normal again. So there are different things that I can do to break this tie, because eventually that is what I want with this. I want to, and I'm happy to say I'm actually already catching the signaling from the body to the mind, trying to get its shot of frustration, and then coming in between and saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not what I want to feed and cultivate. So it's about getting really uncomfortable, and because it gets uncomfortable when you don't get the shot of what it is that you're addicted to. Getting really uncomfortable and feeling and saying the opposite things, so that the frustration emotion is not fed. I found that there are some other ways also to do this, and I might get into that in another audio, or I will do it in a blog post. I don't know yet. When you feel like this is interesting for you, then it's important that you keep your notifications on and check my blog every now and then, or just subscribe. So anyway, enough about this. Now I want to go into the beliefs article that I told you about. So let me get it. Okay, so this is from Linda Meddendaal's perspective, and it ends with a quote from Seth. From my perspective, techniques for changing beliefs. So, how do we change beliefs? The easiest way is simply to let them go. Make a conscious choice not to believe them any longer. It really can be that simple. We do have free will, after all. But most of us aren't ready to accept that at first. So we need processes and techniques to use. We can design our own or use one developed by others, but no technique will work unless we believe in it. Beliefs enter our life through self-hypnosis, so we can use the same tool to get rid of them. Seth suggests that for 5 or 10 minutes a day at most, we use natural hypnosis as a method of accepting desired new beliefs. He says to concentrate our attention as vividly as possible on one statement of desire and keep repeating it to ourselves with anticipation and assumption as we imagine its outcome. Whether we say the statement aloud while visualizing or mentally repeat it doesn't matter. The repetition is important though, because it literally activates biological and psychic patterns that then come to pass. A light-altered state is helpful for such an exercise, since it puts us in a more focused mindset naturally. A twist to the above suggestion is this. Project your whiteboard into your mind and see an undesirable belief written on it. Slash a large black X through it and erase its image off the board. Then see a new supportive belief appear in its place. Focus on the new belief and all the while build the emotion that reflects the belief, i.e., happiness, excitement, love, contentment. Do this with repetition, as Seth suggests. And here's another technique for changing beliefs. Since beliefs are reinforced by normal inner talking, we can use the same process to our advantage by selecting our chatter. We can become our own conscious hypnotist and insert repetitive information into our minds throughout the day. One way is to select a belief you want to insert into your psyche, and about every half an hour or so, stop what you're doing and simply stare into space. Say your desired belief, get the feelings moving around it, repeat it several times, and then drop it. It helps to write the belief on a piece of paper that is always in view, so when you're ready to start your exercise, you can kick it off at first by you can kick it off by first studying the slip of paper. In Beyond the Winning Streak, I outlined a visualization. This is a book from Linda Medendal. I've used for years for belief removal. It entails seeing your limiting beliefs as pillars of stone that you eventually vaporize with the power of your thought. So I want to end with a quote from Seth. Practically speaking, you do indeed form the appearance that reality takes through your conscious beliefs. Those beliefs are used as screening and directing agents, separating certain non-physical probable events from others, and bringing them into three-dimensional actuality. Other probable events could just as well become physically experienced ones. Those beliefs about yourself form your own self-image and define your concepts of what is possible or not possible for you. Yeah, so this is not new information. Everything that I've talked about you already know on some level, or you know it on a very conscious level, and it's about the repetition anyway. So thanks for listening, and if you think someone else might benefit from this video, send it through, and I will see you in here or on my blog soon. Have a wonderful day. Ciao!